Hey guys, it's Kayla. Welcome back to another fucking video.
Fuck your bed, you can sleep in mine. Yeah, let's make it happen, girl. I need some time. Speaking of time, who stopped it?
Well, long overdue, guys. I'm super duper What's the video in like
1 eternity later.
Fucking months.
like I vlogged all I was in Cali, but I did not get enough footage of like everything that I did to make content. So I was just like, you know what, fuck it. Like it's obviously not gonna work out the way I wanted to. I was editing it and I'm like, this shit is fucking trash. I was like, I can't post this shit. What the fuck? This is a Cali vlog. People are gonna like, it's on the video in June, in the beginning of June, like on the first day of June for Pride Month. Now that I looked in that video, so I fucking deleted it. Filmed another video about another poem I wrote. That shit was trash. I wasn't liking the way I looked. I really wasn't happy with like the way that it was filmed, like what I was saying. It just was a no. Like I wasn't wholeheartedly in it. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Like I'm just done with this for a little while. Like I was just kind of, I worked so much. Like this whole week I took off because like I just needed a break and like I just wanted to like, you know, kind of relax, chill in the crib for a little bit because like I work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. Fridays are the days like I want to go out and do shit, or like after work at night, like I want to go out and do shit. Like it's like I don't really have a lot of downtime. Like I'm not really, and when I do have downtime, I'm either asleep or like I'm doing something. And my car just got fucking totaled, so I just lost last week, but I was all over the place, like I was just everywhere. So it was kind of just like, I don't know. I could have vlogged many times, and I did. Like there was a lot of shit that I filmed. There was a lot of shit that I vlogged, but it's just like it just wasn't good enough. And like I don't want to push it out there. It's mediocre. Like every video I put out, I want to be like I would watch it. Like you know. Doing a video about my tattoos because I now have 6 tattoos since the last time I talked to you guys with the first tattoo that I ever got. So this tattoo right here, it's a rose. Shop. Sorry, like my shirt's sticking out. This was done by the shop. This is my mom's name. Her name's Esmond. So like when I originally gave him the design, it didn't have any of like this shading or anything. Like the rose didn't even really look like this. It was more kind of like cartoonish. So yeah, the meaning behind that, originally it wasn't supposed to be my mom's name like that. Like I added that on last minute because she, you know, like even still now, like my mom's always gonna be my mom. Like it's over my heart because like that's always gonna be my mom. And like the flower is just pretty as shit. This is my first tattoo. Got this when I was 16, about to be 17. It was like an early birthday present. I was like, Mom, I want a tattoo for my birthday. She was like, okay. Took me to the shop, signed for it, and that was that. Yeah, this one took maybe like a total of like 2 hours. Yeah, maybe like an hour and a half. Oh, like when I was really scared at first because like I thought it was gonna hurt, but like it really didn't hurt at all. It just stung bad after. The second tattoo I got, what was the second tattoo I got? The second tattoo I got was this one right here. Sometimes I forget that I have this. Like I just look down at my arm sometimes and I'm like, oh shit, I have that tattoo. Like this is I probably should have gotten this drawn a little bit bigger. I'll insert pictures of it. But this right here is Romans 8:18. So it says, what we suffer now is nothing compared to the glory he will reveal to us later. The main reason why I got that is because, and why I got it so big, and I also got a cross. A little cross right here too. The main reason why I got it was because when I went away to basic training, that was like the Bible quote that I kind of lived by. Like, even though this shit is hard, even though I miss home, even though like, you know, all the odds are against you right now, like what I'm suffering now, like it's not going to compare to what he reveals to me later, like what's going to come afterwards. Like after all the struggling and after all the pain is gone, what the, you know, the reward I'm going to receive for pushing through and, you know, having perseverance in life, instead of giving up. And quote, if you watched my first ever YouTube video, I talked about it, and I talked about just kind of like the importance of realizing what's after the pain, like, you know. So like after you're going through a lot, like you're gonna come out in a different light, and that's kind of what I think this is mostly about. Like God is gonna show you all the pain and suffering you did. Like He's gonna show you what it was for. So this one's one of my favorites. I wanted to, now that I look at it now, like I probably should have gotten a little bit smaller because it takes up a lot of space on my forearm. But like, hey. The third tattoo, well, I got both these at the same time, is this Buddha.
Put your heart together, found it broken up, going up in smoke, smoking up.
Well, it's Siddhartha, so it's Buddha before enlightenment. And then I got this. This says, feel the fear and do it anyway.
Come to visit me, she said that she the loneliest, and it's hard to open up.
I originally wanted to just get the feel the fear and do it anyway. Like that was gonna be the tattoo I got, but he was like, okay, got a deal, I'm doing 2 for $60. So I was like, okay. So he was like, choose another small tattoo. I've always been in the Buddhist religion. Like even though I'm a Christian, like I've always you know, admired Buddhists and how they live, and I read Siddhartha and I really liked it. It was kind of like contradicting myself, like, okay, like you got a whole Bible verse tattoo on you, but you also got Siddhartha, like what religion are you? This side of my arm, like this side of my arm for tattoos, like this, my left arm is going to be a sleeve, so like this whole arm is going to be a sleeve eventually. This side is going to be a quarter sleeve, and it's more so for like so like you see how this side has like the what we suffer now is nothing, like kind of like the pain, and says feel the fear, do it anyway, like kind of just like quotes, you know. This side is more like my enlightenment side, like the healing part of me. So I don't know, that's just how I see it, because like Siddhartha is Buddha before enlightenment. So like before he found enlightenment, before he came up, I'm Siddhartha. Like I haven't reached my enlightenment yet, but one day I will, and it's part of my healing. Like, you know, I don't really know how to explain it. And then this is my favorite tattoo that I have. This is for sexual abuse survivors and or sexual assault. And it was always something I struggled with, like coming to terms with it, that like it actually happened to me. The more vivid and like to the surface it became, not only for me but like within my family, and like the acceptance of what actually happened. So it is a staple for me that like I've accepted it now, I've overcome it, or I'm overcoming it, and I can move on from it now. Because for like the longest time I couldn't move on from it, and I hadn't accepted it. I was just kind of like mad at myself, mad at everybody in my family, mad at just everybody, just because of like how everything was handled, so forth and so forth. And to anybody out there watching this video who's been through the same thing, I understand. It's not always about other people, and it's not always about like proving that you are healed from something to other people, because I think that's kind of what I tried to do. I tried to like prove to everybody else, like, oh, like that shit didn't faze me, like, you know, like that was years ago, like I'm fine now, like, you know, like the more you hide something within yourself, the more it begins to come to surface. So like the more that I was pushing it under the rug, the more that I was not acknowledging it, the more that I was like, you know, kind of just letting it go, and letting all the emotions go, and like not handling it in the proper way by accepting it, like I was dealing with a lot more bullshit in my life than I had to, because it was affecting, not accepting it and not coming to terms with it was affecting every other aspect of my life, like relationships, you know. It just, when you go through something like that as a child, when you get older is kind of when like it hits you, because when you're young, you know, like it happens and you kind of forget about it and you kind of sweep it underneath the rug, like, you know. And as I'm saying, like, you know, getting flashbacks and like, you know, it's just you block something out for so long, and then like when you finally realize, that's when it all comes rushing to you. And that's probably the hardest part, because like you block it out and you act like it didn't happen, and then finally one day you're like, oh shit, like what the fuck, like, you know, not blaming yourself for the situation, because I know a lot of people do that. I know when something bad happens to us, like we're kind of always just like, well, what did I do to deserve this? Why did this happen to me? What did I do? Like, you know, like I feel like we all kind of have that thing in the back of our minds. It's like, why? And I am one of those people that's always just like, why is this happening to me? You know, like I try to think, and I'm like, okay, of course some of my actions result in my consequences, but like for the most part, like when certain things happen to me, I'm like, okay, well, why is this happening to me? Like I try to analyze it on the situation. I'm like, okay, what did I do for this to happen to me? And that's one of those things that I blame myself for a very, very, very long time. I blame my family, I blame myself, I blamed everybody else but the person, like, you know, that hurt me. So it's like, I think it's really important that you realize that you're not in the fault, and nobody else is in the fault unless they were involved in the situation, besides the person who hurt you. And don't ever apologize or blame yourself for the pain that others inflict on you, because that has nothing to do with you. You know, someone saw you as an opportunity and they acted on it, and you have to suffer the pain from it. And that's the sad part, and that's the part that like you kind of have to also accept, that they did do it and they did hurt you. And especially if it was like somebody in your family, a family member, a close friend, or something like that. Yeah, trying not to like get upset. Of healing, another part of healing is being able to talk about stuff without it affecting you, like being able to share your story. And I think that's really important for me. That's all I have for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I love you guys very much. Sorry for my short absence. I will be back with another video soon. Peace.